It's Pro Wrestling. Some of you already know what it is. Chris Dozer. How you doing, man?
Yes, sir. I am cold right now because it's cold up here.
Cold.
But I'm great.
Cold.
Yeah, it was 32 degrees this morning.
Oof. That is
a
It
was 28 yesterday.
Oof, that's a tad bit chesty. That's a bit
nasty.
Yeah, that's a nipple getting hard.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not fucking ready for this winter. I'm not. I'm wholly unprepared for it, and I'm adamant that I want my fall first.
Yeah, I hear you, buddy. Well, today we're going to be going over the top 10 women in professional wrestling as of right now, or all time. I mean, if that's more consumable for people, whatever it is. I mean, this would be my list regardless.
Agreed.
But I think that this is going to be an interesting one. I think that we're definitely going to have some discrepancies between. But then again, I don't know because I don't know your list. You don't know my list. We're doing this. Man. We're shooting this blind. We're shooting it blind. So it is a lot of fun. Well, I'll go first. My number 10.
Yes.
My number 10 on the list of top 10 women is Athena Palmer, the former Ember Moon. I absolutely love Athena Palmer. Love her. I think she is incredible. I think that she's done an amazing job in ROH. I was a big fan of her in WWE, NXT. I think that she is completely undervalued, underutilized, and I think that she is an absolute star if pushed properly. The fact
I can see why you put her so high. I understand that.
Yeah.
I would wholly disagree with you. Completely, wholeheartedly disagree with you. She was a disappointment in NXT when she got injured.
Okay.
She got injured again.
Yep.
When she made the main roster, and she was very forgettable.
Interesting. See,
For me, she was very forgettable. She's a one-move show. Everyone wants a top rope flip and stunner. That's all I want to see from her. I'm good.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, I mean, I can certainly see that. I can certainly see how some people would feel that way. I just I really like her presentation. I think that she understands that it's all about the flashy. Okay, I think that her entrance is always really good. I think that her look is great. She doesn't look like everybody else. I think
and
that
she did pretty good promos too.
100%, and I absolutely think that she's being completely underutilized in ROH, and why she is not on AEW television every week is completely fucking.
When they feature you have to scratch your head and ask why.
Exactly right. Like, why am I watching multiple matches with Robin Renegade, who is fine? She's fine, but like,
not getting away from her, but like again, like let's feature some people. Like, I want ROH to mean something, right?
Exactly.
As you do,
yep.
Right? So if it's not a developmental territory for AEW, then why the fuck are you keeping them down there so long?
Right. Why is she not up on the main roster already?
I don't understand. What are you afraid of? Like, put her on the main roster and give her an angle.
And I mean, there's plenty of angles to be had. You're only featuring one women's match each show, so like, what the fuck? You can absolutely put her somewhere.
They have female on that roster. It's a gross miscarriage of justice.
It's crazy. Well, who's in your number 10, buddy?
Number 10, I have Saraya.
Ooh, okay, all right.
Because. All credit to her for returning from a neck injury that should have ended her career. She's honestly one of the best promos I've seen for a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And in all honesty, she's one of the best female workers I've seen for a while. And then even after the neck injury, when she calmed down some of the stuff she did,
yep,
she dialed up other things that made it look better. Like it. Again, when you couldn't bump like you used to, Now you have to figure out how to be a better wrestler.
I love her promo. I think that her promo has improved drastically.
Dramatically.
Compared to what it was. So, I mean, I have no problem with her being on the list at all. None whatsoever. Well,
and she genuinely changed. She ushered a new era in WWE.
100%.
I mean, it was a renaissance for women after that.
100%. I totally agree. Well, in my number 9 spot, I have Julia, who is...
I know she's going to be on this list for you. I know it.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody knows me, knows that I'm a giant Japanese wrestling fan. Not as big as Dave Meltzer, I'll be completely honest.
Obviously not.
But
I mean, so wasn't he the hentai too?
Yeah, no, that's not for me, buddy. That's not for me. I'm a real person type of human, but I really do.
Point for you, I get it. Fine.
But I really do love Julia. I think that her being in NXT is going to be pretty outstanding. I think that they're only just scratching the surface with her. I think that she is a worldwide sensation, and she is going to be a giant part of the women's division in WWE moving forward for years and years and years and years to come. So,
you saw it when she debuted in NXT, right?
Right, I sure did.
She immediately commanded a presence.
Yes, she sure did.
Extremely hard to do. So there's some equity there with the fans from Japan.
Right.
Right, from the Smarks from the East Coast now. She just oozes a superstar. And they haven't done anything for her yet, right? She's done it herself.
Yeah, I mean, total superstar.
All I did was give her an entrance, and she had my attention. I knew she was coming over. I saw her stuff from Japan. I was a fan of her stuff from Japan. I knew she was coming over months ago, and we were just waiting for her to debut. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. We were waiting for her, and she debuted, I think, in the perfect spot. Against the perfect opponent.
Yeah,
Roxy Perez.
Yeah, I mean,
they had
Roxy
a banger
is
of
awesome.
a match on free TV.
Yep.
Which is that was a restaurant quality pay-per-view match, ladies and gentlemen.
I agree.
And the finish was dusty. It was a dusty finish.
Yep.
And now with Stephanie Vaquer involved, you have to now you're interested. Right? First your peak, your interest is peaked. Now you're, hey, where are they going to go with it?
And Julia didn't lose it.
I'm really invested.
She didn't lose any steam by losing to Roxy in the way that she did. That's the best thing about
it. Right?
Right.
When you bring these newbies over from either AEW or Japan, right? They don't have to be over the first match, right? They don't have to be Nakamura knocking out Sami Zayn.
Right.
Right? They can wrestle and lose.
You just have to find a creative way to do it.
The story makes sense.
Right.
Just don't book yourself into a box.
Right. And Cora Jade
went over and won the title. You booked yourself into a corner with both women.
Exactly right. Cora Jade was the perfect spot for Cora Jade to return. It's in Chicago. She's from Chicago. She cost Julia the match, and now look what they have going. They have a whole tag team thing that they're going to be doing, and then her and Stephanie can wrestle each other because they're both going to be chasing Roxy's title, and it's going to be awesome. I mean, they booked it so well, so I'm pretty impressed. How about your number 9, pal?
Hard to argue with Julia. I'm going to have her on my list too, FYI. Let's go. And there's a reason why I'm putting her this low. Is Mercedes Moné.
Ooh. Whoa. Okay, see, now this is where you and I are going to disagree.
Let me say something, okay? She's a fucking terrible promo.
Terrible.
Terrible promo. And she's been, her debut in AEW has been botched since Jump.
Agreed.
It's been absolute fucking garbage.
Agreed.
But what I will say is this. She's been a part of some of my WrestleMania favorite matches. Her and Bianca Belair main eventing night 1 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. It was an excellent match. Excellent match. And she's the first woman, because I worked shows with her when she was working in Boston as Mercedes KV. Mm-hmm. And she's the first person I've seen bring it to WWE and have success.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing where she came from, that's why I'm putting her on this list. But she's been terrible in AEW.
Okay.
Terrible.
All right,
Okay?
so it's more for her WWE work than it is her AEW work.
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay. All right, great. Fantastic. Well, my number 8 would have to be Charlotte Flair.
Really?
Yep.
That's so high for you, sir.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's just tells you how good this list is going to be.
I think so, but
It's going to be interesting. Let's put it that way. It's going to be interesting. I'm on the edge of my seat now. They fall off.
I mean, I'm definitely a Charlotte fan.
As am I.
I don't think that. I think that there are some talent that have kind of surpassed her now because I think she's kind of fallen into the trap of working the same type of match all the time, which is kind of like her dad, but she's not doing it on the same high level that her dad was. And
she doesn't have the durability of her dad.
No,
right?
She definitely does not.
The thing I see now with her more than anything else, she's more whiny than anything else.
Yeah,
she comes off as whiny and entitled, and I'm like, yeah, like if you're a heel, it's okay, but when you're trying to be a face and you try to get the face pop, like it doesn't do it for me.
I really had like a turn on Charlotte when she beat up Kairi Sane.
Yep.
I kind of not turned on her, but I was just like turned off by her doing that to Kairi. It did. It soured me a little bit on her.
Kairi was already concussed.
Yeah, so like I would have probably put Charlotte even higher on the list, like probably in the top 5. But she had to drop to the 8 spot. I mean, she just. And plus she's been out for quite a bit, so she's been off.
She also looks like a dude too.
I mean, she doesn't have the best body. She doesn't.
I mean, it's her face more than anything else. It's her face.
I mean, she looks like her dad, and it's kind of trippy.
It fucking scares me how much she looks like her dad.
Yeah, it's kind of trippy, man. It is kind of trippy. Who's number 8 on your list?
Number 8. Oh God. That's why I was doing research last night at 2 a.m. for this show. Let's go with. I'll do it now. Rhea Ripley. Rhea Bloody Ripley.
Okay. All right. I can get behind that. Mean,
she's been on top for most of the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's in. She's been. Must see for a while with her, or like her stuff with Dominic, her stuff with Liv, has been fantastic. And they were smart keeping them away for so long. She's just been consistently one of the top performers there, and I think she's underutilized as it is right now. It's hard to say that because she's been champion for so long, but her chasing the championship doesn't do it for me. I want to see her on top more.
I agree. I think that Rhea should definitely be in a different spot than she's in now. I mean, I'm fine with her work and Liv, but I really like her and Dom together. And I mean, honestly, she makes my list for sure. But I think that some of the steam has been taken off of her a little bit, and I don't necessarily know if she's ever gonna get that same steam back.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. What is going on here? Oh, okay. I don't know. That sounded kind of weird.
What the hell's going on?
Yeah, it was like connecting for some reason. I don't know what's happening. Anyway,
I can hear you now. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Okay. Right. That's all that really matters. So I think that some of the steam has been taken off of her, and I really don't understand why. But
it seemed awfully quick. Awfully quick.
It did. It really did. But who am I to judge? I mean, she's incredible. There's no doubt about it.
She's getting popped in Saudi Arabia.
That's true. Like, that you're doing something right when they're popping for a woman in Saudi Arabia.
Right, not beheading them. Sorry.
Oh my God. Well, I'll tell you, in my number 7 spot, I have Tiffany Stratton.
Good pick.
I like Tiffy. It's Tiffy time. I dig Tiffy.
I do too.
I think that Tiffy is probably the next big superstar to come out of the women's division in WWE. And I think that this whole program that they're having her work with Nia Jax is genius because it's only going to make her better as a face. She is going to be a giant fucking face when she turns, and it's going to be incredible. And she can always, there's plenty of meat left on the bone for her to go back heel at some point, but for her to turn face...
She's a fantastic heel.
And that only means that she's going to be a better face.
Really develop the character all around.
Yep.
Right? So we haven't seen her hit those personality highs and lows yet. Her being bullied by Nia Jax as her her bodyguard is hilarious, and it makes Nia watchable.
Oof. Well, I agree to that. It's
hard to say.
I agree to that. I'm not a big Nia fan at all.
She's not making my list. I'm gonna spoil it for you now.
No, she's not. She's not on my list either. So you're not spoiling anything for me.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, who's it?
Right. Everything they're very smart with how they do the interactions with her and Nia with a briefcase. She's really being elevated right now. She's getting the old rub, so to speak.
Yep.
Which is great to see them actually utilizing talent.
Doesn't happen often.
No, I mean, it's a crapshoot right now.
Pretty much.
When you come up, whether you're going to be put in the main roster, or you're going to have to fucking wait 6 months.
Right, exactly right. Well,
so, I mean, they've done a great job with that. So,
excellent. Who's in your number 7 spot?
Number 7, I have Roxanne Perez.
Ooh, okay. I can dig it. She makes my list.
When I first saw her, I was bored by her.
Right? Really?
Yep. Then I tuned out of NXT for a little bit. I tuned back in, and when she was running heel.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so good.
Much better heel than she is a face. Much better heel.
Agreed. She's very, very forgettable as a face. But she has been on fire as of late.
Definitely on fire.
I want to see her on the main roster. I think she deserves that rub on the main roster that she needs. Just having her be introduced, I would have her win the Money in the Bank this year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like have her, and then have a cash in on Tiffany Stratton or whoever's champion on Raw. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like that's how I would introduce her to the main roster.
Wow, what a fucking... I would love to see her come up with Cora Jade, maybe a couple other of the females, to come up to the main roster in sort of a group. What I thought they should have done with Toxic Attraction back in the day is they should have...
That was what do you call it? A miss, a botch, a
total botch. Total botch.
Oh, God.
Total botch. I'll never understand it. Never understand it. Well,
that's what they did with what was it? Eric Young's group.
Yes. The Sanity.
Sanity. Yes, that was also botched.
Total botch that they didn't bring them up to the main roster sooner than they did.
It would have been great.
Terrible. But in my number 6 spot, I have somebody that we already talked about, Rhea Ripley.
Understandable. She's number 6 for you.
Yeah. Totally understandable. We already talked about her, so that we don't need to say any more about her. She's incredible. Everybody knows it. Who's in your number 6 spot?
My number 6 spot right now is Dr. Britt Baker.
Ooh, DMD. Interesting.
Indeed.
Interesting.
She has carried that women's division.
I agree. Even being out.
She has been the one person that has been the redeeming quality of AEW women's wrestling, because she came from in-house, right? She didn't come from NXT. She didn't come from WWE.
Homegrown talent,
like one of those people that like really like got the opportunity to get the ball and the opportunity to run with it and ran with it and ran a mile.
And she's really good. She's competent in the ring.
Right. I like the fact that she has some issues with Mercedes, because that's the only thing that will ever get me to watch Mercedes right now. Again,
man.
I don't watch AEW, ladies and gentlemen, and I feel that AEW is a waste of my time. It's an insult to my integrity or my intelligence. And it's just Tony Khan in a room with action figures booking matches he wants to see.
Oy. Well, I don't think that you're wrong about your assessment. One bit. I don't think that you're wrong whatsoever about your assessment.
I'll tell you, it's just like, that's how I feel.
He's playing with figures in his room going, yeah, guys.
Footy pajamas. It is AEW footy pajamas.
Oh, my God, dude. It's so weird. Well, he
has to take a chalky milk break every once in a while.
Chalky milk break, dude. This is excellent.
Get some Dino Nuggets after that.
Some Dino Nuggies. Him and Dom are sharing Dino Nuggies. It's amazing. Yes. Oh my God. Well, who do you have in your number 5 spot?
Now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of it. I have someone that was what carried on his division, Bull Nakano.
Oh, okay. All right.
I like Bull Nakano. I always have liked Bull Nakano, even after, whatever.
An old school name. I dig it.
She had, when I go back and watch those matches stand up today. They're that good. You know what I'm saying? The bridge presses and the bridge pins and whatnot. Like those matches stand up today with her and Lunder Blaze. She was the heel of the women's division for the longest time.
And she looked the part. That's the biggest thing. She looked the part.
So someone you see at a dive bar, biker bar. That corner in the shadow.
Yeah, that you don't want to fight.
Come here, sunshine. I want to talk to you for a minute.
With that high flat top that she had. I mean, that thing was incredible.
That rival kid in play. I'm dating myself again here, but here we go.
Well, in my number 5 spot, I have none other than Liv Morgan.
Good choice.
I'm a big fan of Liv. I like Liv. I like the way that she conducts herself. She's an incredible heel. She understands how to get heat. She understands how to get her opponent over to make sure that it's, that the matches are good. She can get it done in the ring. She's smaller, but yet she can wrestles a style that is fitting for her size. I love her finish. I love that the face buster off of the Oblivion. Yeah, thank you.
Flatliner off the rope.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love how she goes in between the middle and the second rope, and she bounces off to hit the flatliner. I think it's great. It's genius, and she does it for me. She really does. She does it for me.
She's really an entire package. She's very easy on the eyes, and I'm not trying to be sexualized with it. And she knows it.
Yeah, but it's so much more than that with her.
So much more than that, right?
Exactly.
There's depth to the character, because you've seen her just peel back layer after layer after layer. And
she can work. She can work as a face too.
Yes, I remember seeing her paired against Ronda Rousey, right? And she went over the title. I think that was unfair for her to win a title like that, and then have to have Rousey chase her, because we all know she was going to win the title back anyways.
Right.
And wanted to see what happened after she lost the title, and see her kind of rebuild herself back up, and she totally did.
Totally redeemed yourself.
Well, that's what I'm saying. After having a loss, you lose it, you first made a championship, you're back down to the doldrums of the mid card, right? So she made something of herself that was really nothing to do with it. Wasn't a WWE produced thing, right?
Right.
When she came back, and it made sense. Everything she's done has made sense, and having her as a foil for Rhea makes Rhea better.
Agreed.
Gives her the depth of that character.
Agreed. Totally agree.
She's really breathed the life into the World Heavyweight Championship for women on Raw.
And she does a great job with Judgment Day. She does a great
job. When I thought they were replacing two of the key members with two new members, it makes sense.
I totally dig it, and I like her with Raquel Rodriguez too.
As her heavy, yep.
Yeah,
yep.
You got to.
Absolutely.
Brilliant stuff. Brilliant. Well, so who do you have in your number 5 spot?
It's going to be the name we just talked about, Liv Morgan.
All right.
It's hard to argue with the success she's had this year, and how successful she's been, and she's marketable, right? You can market her.
Oh yeah.
For years to come now.
Totally marketable. Totally marketable.
I mean, that's all what it is right now. Is how can you get over? How can you stay over?
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Well, in my number 4 spot, I have somebody who we already mentioned, Roxanne Perez.
Ah, good choice.
I mean,
awfully high for her, no? Her being so young, but
yeah. Well, I think that she's shown a lot of poise, especially since she was able to transition so well from a face to a heel.
Yep.
Which is not an easy thing to do, especially in today's day and age, especially when people are used to cheering you and then they now have to boo you.
She was.
Right.
To now go to this whole new foreign gimmick of being a heel, not knowing how the fans are going to react to you, and not knowing how they're going to, if they're going to react to you at all, or it's hard. It's a hard thing to do, to pivot between what you're comfortable with and what's new to you.
Right, exactly right. Especially with the NXT crowd and because it's the same people almost all the time. I mean, right. you really have to do something pretty outstanding to be able to pivot like that. So I mean, I give her all the credit in the world for be able to do that. Who's in your number 4 spot?
Number 4 spot, I'm going with the woman we've already talked about, Charlotte Flair.
Okay, all right.
Again, I don't. She has been the victim of bad booking, no direction, so many times, and I think that they defaulted on giving her the title so many times.
Yeah.
I like her being the most decorated woman champion in history.
Well, and rightfully so.
Rightfully so. And she should be, given her lineage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need it all to happen at once.
Right.
Right? It didn't happen for Rick all at once.
Right. She doesn't need to come back and immediately win the belt her first match back.
Stop giving her the title as an angle, because it's not an angle. Right. You're using it as an angle, and it doesn't work.
Correct. Pretty outstanding, though. I mean, Charlotte's no joke.
Her body of work, that triple match at WrestleMania 30,
mm-hmm.
I think it was, with not on the 30, 32 in Dallas.
Yep.
Was fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, just being one of the first women to main event WrestleMania 2, rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
Again, fantastic. So, I mean, if she's not on anyone's list, it's because you don't like her.
Exactly right. It's exactly right. It's because you're a hater. It's essentially what it is.
And that's just, I have no room for that in my list.
Well,
who's your number 3?
My number 3, I got to go with Bayley. Got to do it. Got to do it. Yeah, I just think that Bayley has shown so much, just in terms of being able to flip flop between heel and face. I think that her title run was cut short. I think that she could have.
It made really no sense for her to drop to Nia.
I don't really understand it. I mean, I get that they're trying to put Nia over, but
it's not going to work.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not happening the same way. It's just.
She's fucking terrible.
Yeah, Bayley working from underneath and being a face is incredible. She's incredible in the ring. She cuts a great promo. She gets the people behind her. She gets the kids behind her. I wish that she never stopped doing the hugger gimmick. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
And she's adamant now. She'll never go back. Never go back to it.
she literally could have been the women's version of John Cena if she had kept that gimmick.
Oh, she's on that. She's on that ride.
But
she was on that ride for a little bit, and then she jumped right off of it.
unfortunately, she, they turned her heel and they didn't let her continue with it.
A
And
victim of bad booking.
well, I mean, I'm not saying that Vince was booking bad the last couple of years, but Vince was booking bad the past couple of years. So
Vince was not just doing booking bad; he was doing bad.
yeah, he was. Yeah, that's true. That's true. He was doing bad. You're absolutely right. Who's in your number 3 spot?
Number 3 spot. We'll go with Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch. Okay, she didn't even make my list.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you.
Holy shit!
I'm not kidding
Wow.
you. She did
I'm
not
going
even.
Becky Lynch number 3 because as irritating as the man gimmick was, she made it entertaining. She really got a genuine reaction from the WWE universe, which is hard to do. And they all got behind her. There was this massive groundswell of support behind her.
Mm-hmm.
And you knew she was winning the title. You knew she was knocking off Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, I mean,
and she was the women's division for the longest time too. I mean,
I agree.
So when they did the roster split, she carried the SmackDown Women's division. She was the workhorse of that women's division.
I agree, and I can understand why you put her at the 3 spot. I can, but I can't get over the fact that she got over because of a shoot incident that happened with Nia, who also didn't make my list. So if that incident never happened, would she be as popular as she was? That's where my reasoning came in.
That's a very valid point.
That's my whole reasoning for the whole thing, because we had never.
I don't like about her, and I'll tell you this: is this fake, forced tough guy persona.
Yeah, it's just not.
You backhanded Nia when she wasn't looking. It's like you punched her in the face. You caught her with the back of your fucking hand.
Oh, man. And I mean, listen, I get the visual was awesome. Like, the visual of her bleeding in the crowd, it was awesome. But without that...
I was broken with a backhand. Like, oh, you're super tough? Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, and then...
I go on and on about how pissed off I was with that whole angle, but whatever.
And then she's trying to armbar Ronda Rousey, and I'm like, what are we doing here, dude? Like, you're not
Once again, underutilized Ronda Rousey. Her submission skills were underutilized in the ring. I don't know why they didn't go to her submission skills.
I have no idea. I would have had her doing hip throws on people and putting the armbar on immediately.
Chops,
right, exactly.
And right into an armbar.
Right, exactly right. And that would have been...
the gold medal.
And that would have been the whole fucking thing. Yeah, dude, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't understand why they did what they did with her. I think that, again, it was bad booking, and they didn't know what they had. And it's unfortunate because Ronda turned into an idiot, and I hate WWE and like all this other bullshit. And it's like, dude,
she buried herself on the way out.
Yeah, you're so dumb. Like, you could have made money there for the next 20 years. Like,
millions of dollars you pissed away.
Yeah, it's just very odd to me.
And watch out for her popping up in AEW too.
Oh God,
kind of stupid enough to waste money on that.
I really hope not. That would be.
And she's a toxic person in the locker room too.
Yeah.
Right. Like, she has an air of superiority, and granted, she probably kicked my ass too.
100%. She would whoop on me. She would absolutely whoop my ass.
Absolutely, especially in my current state. I think I submit before now. Before I ever see her, I wouldn't even show up to the show.
Well, we're down to the number 2 and number 1. So
yes, we are.
So my number 2 is Bianca Belair. I love Bianca. I think that Bianca, again, a victim of bad booking and being completely underutilized. It's this tag team with Jade Cargill is such a waste of time.
Waste of fucking time. Thank you so much.
It's not even.
I get the fact you're trying to make the women's tag team title mean something. Keep them on somebody and keep them on damage control for fucking ever. I don't care.
Or the unholy union. Like, put it on the.
Why do they have to lose the titles?
Right. Put it on the 2 girls from Scotland and just leave them there.
Right. They're competent enough.
Totally competent.
It's such a throwaway, like, because she is so talented in the ring as a one-on-one star. You saw that with her and Sasha Banks.
Yeah, and the problem is that Jade is not. No matter how much they're going to try to make Jade work, it's not going to work unless she improves in the ring.
She has to be better in the ring. She has to be. It's not like punch, kick, and then do my fucking karate kick, and I'm done.
Well, but when
she has to be better in the ring.
But when you fuck up the punch and kick, like, what else do you have? Like, there's there's nothing behind it. So, like, what the fuck are we doing here, man? It's just no good. But Bianca,
the whole tag team angle is for one of them to turn on the other, right? I get what they're doing. It's so unnecessary. Just have one of them be a heel. I don't fucking care which one it is.
100%.
Like, just do something better. Like, be better.
Gotta do it. Who's in your number 2 spot?
Number 2 spot, I have Bayley.
Okay. Well, I mean, number 2, number 3 for me. So, I mean, we're right on the same page.
Bayley's got to be there because, I mean, she was organically grown. From NXT right up to the main roster.
Yep. That's true.
And she was the women's division for the longest time. And again, she hasn't been utilized a lot, and it's unfortunate that she had the knee injury when she did. But I mean, her losing the title to Nia Jax is completely pointless.
What a waste.
Nia didn't need the title, and she could have gone on that run with winning over Nia. If you want to put her over clean, don't put her over clean.
Doesn't matter.
I have no use for Nia.
I agree. Well, now we're down to number 1, and I don't know how you feel about this. I know who it is, but... Well, my number 1 is Toni Storm. I don't,
I figured it was.
I can't, I mean, Timeless Toni Storm has really showed what women's wrestling could be if it's given a little bit of time and, and given some space and room to breathe. I think that she and MJF are the 2 biggest stars on the AEW roster. And I don't care if it's men or women. MJF and Toni Storm are the reason why I watch AEW. Yep. I mean, other than being a wrestling fan, those are the 2 reasons why I really watch AEW. I mean,
I love... shock some people, but... I've only seen Timeless Storm in vignettes and videos. I haven't watched any of it.
Really?
She's been a victim of Tony Khan's bad booking.
Well, I mean, agreed.
If the product was worth a damn, I'd tune in and watch. I'm not going to tune in and watch the segments.
Yeah. I mean, the segment. Yeah, and that's the thing. You would have to watch the segments because that's where most of her work was done, was in the segments.
And she didn't make my list because of that. She's been a victim of as I don't hate AEW. I want AEW desperately to succeed. I just can't stand the way it's being run.
I totally understand.
I can't get behind it, and unfortunately, I've missed some good stuff with Toni Storm. I missed good stuff with Britt Baker. I missed good stuff with Chris Statlander. I missed good stuff with MJF. I missed good stuff with Hangman Page. I missed good stuff with Sora Strickland. You know, there's a reason why is that those names don't make my list because I don't watch them. Right.
So it's tough for you to judge on how they would be on a list if you don't watch it. If you're not watching the product.
If I watch a reel of Toni Storm, then I'll like it. But like, I'm not going to go tune in to watch it.
Right. I totally understand. Totally get it. Well, I'm curious. Who's in your number 1 spot?
My number 1 spot? Oh God, it's shit. I just lost my train of thought. Number 1, right? Number one. This is hard. I don't know.
All right.
Let's hang on. See if I can pull a name out of that. Trish Stratus.
Oh, well, I mean, she's really the one who started the whole women's revolution in wrestling. I mean, if we're being 100% honest, I mean, she was the one who took it more serious than anybody else.
They both built the women's division.
Agreed.
I mean, they had suffered through terrible booking and awful work conditions, and being over-sexualized and hypersexualized. But they both truly deserve a number one spot. But Trish Stratus is the number one spot because she did it for longer than Lita did and was more healthy. They're the first two women to main event a Raw.
That's true. That's very true. The first women to main event a Raw. That's true.
They tore it down.
They did. They did.
Despite Lita spiking herself.
Oh man.
But like, I didn't care for her run back when she returned to WWE. It was very bland.
Agreed.
Seemed very forced. She didn't need that. She didn't need it at all. But I think she cobbled the women's division for nothing.
Well, I mean, Trish being in that number one spot for you is totally well deserved. I just think that the wrestling now is far superior than the wrestling during Trish's era.
Right. She's a victim of
the time period. If she came in now, she would be incredible.
Agreed.
I hope that she never goes to AEW. I hope that she never chases the money and never goes to AEW because it would really ruin her legacy for me.
It's so unnecessary. Like, she's already done enough. Like,
I agree.
I see guys wrestling like Dustin Rhodes wrestling in his fucking mid-50s.
Yeah, it's like, why? Why are you doing that? Yeah.
Stop it. Just have a cup of coffee and sit down.
Help write the show.
There's so much more. Yeah, help Tony desperately book this show. It needs help.
It needs help. It desperately needs help. Please. Please help it.
She doesn't need to be seen on television again. Aside from appearances she does in Canada. I can see her bringing her back for a Raw and whatnot. But she doesn't need to do anything else.
Yeah.
I don't want her to do anything else. Yep. All it does is tarnish my memory of her.
I agree. Totally agree.
It's like watching Ric Flair wrestle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see him wrestle ever again.
I want to see him die in the ring. Okay, I'm not here to see that.
Nope. I'm not here to see him tarnish his legacy any further than it's already been tarnished. No. Which is unfortunate. It really is unfortunate.
Because he was... wasn't he your number one?
He's my number one, buddy. My number one.
He's
my
number three. Like, it's just one of those things where I don't think at all you see him on television ever again.
Agreed, 110%. Well, this has been Wrestling Mondays. We have now covered the women of professional wrestling. Make sure that you reach out to us at good.villain.media on Instagram. You can also hit us up at Pro Wrestling Summit RI on Instagram. We do have some new podcasts coming in January of 2025. The Pull Counter podcast and the Octo podcast, which is a boxing and an MMA podcast, respectively. So make sure you be on the lookout for that. But we have about we have another 12 weeks worth of these top 10 lists to go, and then we're gonna tell some stories. We're gonna talk about some of the other things that are going on. So I mean, we got a lot of stuff coming up. So don't you dare miss it. And we'll be in touch for myself, Tatum, and for Chris Dozer. Make sure that you reach out to us, and don't be afraid. Till then, have yourselves a great day. Peace, peace.